We were not the first to come to these islands, but we are the ones who will write their future. From our base at the Black Pool, Dublin, we can dominate the inner sea. It is here that Ivar, son of Ragnar, joined the great army and ravaged Britannia. And where the last of the sons failed to take control and drowned in the Black Pool. Only we have Ragnar's blood in our veins. In time, that blood will rule all of Britannia!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen! Welcome to Thrones of Britannia, a Total War saga. Madam, would you mind not talking over me? Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful day because I'm very excited to be jumping in as Dublin, as the Irish, into Thrones of Britannia with one goal in mind, and that is going to be to take over everything. So let's get started. We are right here. We have a mission issued. We should stabilize internally before we look beyond our borders. Prove your right to rule and eliminate the nearby rebels. Consider it done. So, we're going to be right around here. We have our king, Barter. I'm going to pronounce it as Barter because that's the way I'm going to pronounce it. Who currently needs to go and wipe out the rebel army. The Irish rebel army just to the north of Dublin. We also, fun fact, have what I believe is the Isle of Man over here. We own this as well, and pretty soon, in time, we're going to own a lot more. Let's go ahead and get to it, I think. We're going to take out these rebels. We begin with a battle, of which there will be many, and we have some options here. We could auto-resolve this. The game will simulate the battle, but no. We're going to manually fight the battle because, of course, we are. It would be a waste of time to play a Total War game and not fight, methinks. I should clarify, Total War Thrones of Britannia is actually the first Total War game I've played in about 13 years, if we happen to exclude the very short amount of time that I spent with Total War Warhammer 2. Because, fun fact, Creative Assembly actually invited me to their studios to play Warhammer 2, I think in 2017, and it was actually quite neat. It was quite a bit of fun, but I decided to pick up Thrones of Britannia when it came out. We've put like 10 to 12 hours into this game thus far as another Celtic, as an Irish group, as an Irish faction. Obviously, this one is not that, so let's stop waffling and get started in battle. I just wanted to sort of clarify that in case you're watching this thinking that I'm some kind of expert in Total War. I understand that my name has both conflict and nerd in it, but I am neither an expert at conflict and, well, I am a bit of a nerd. Let's just get on with this. So the weather conditions are going to be dry. That's totally fine. Let's start our deployment and see what we're working with here. So the enemy's going to be over here. The enemy's going to have some horse boys. They're going to have some Freeman spearmen. They have some javelin men. And they have elite melee cavalry. So 2 of their groups are ranged. That being the javelin men and the horse boys. The spearmen are not ranged. And the melee cavalry is probably going to be a bit of a pain in the butt. So let's see what we're working with. We've got some archers and some javelin men, so I'm actually going to move those to the back a little bit because they're not going to be prioritizing anything on the front line. We don't actually have anyone on horseback, which is definitely an issue. We do... Let's see here. We have warband, we have axemen. I'm trying to think. I feel like you guys need to be on the front line. You're spearmen. So let's just line you up here to try and deal with the enemy's cavalry threat. So line them up something like that, and that'll sort of do. Obviously, only one of the enemy cavalry groups will be charging at us. The other one's going to be ranged. Let's see. Our king is actually going to be in this group right here. Fun fact, the other Irish campaign that I'm running in this game at the moment, I actually got my king killed in the very first battle. You know what? Let's just start this. Let's turn off the guides. Let's pause and select everything. And let's just move forward. I'm going to say, honestly, out of formation. Let's just get forward and see what happens here. Got an overhead view there. Don't think we need that. Let's just speed things up a little bit so we can get everyone in just that little bit quicker. And let's have our spearmen target their lord. Let's have our archers go for their... I'm thinking their javelin men. I'm going to have my javelin men do the same. Let's pause for just a moment because you guys are actually charging ahead already. That's a bit of an issue. Can I get you to... Let's see. You guys are ranged. That's my archers. You guys are going in. You guys are just moving at the minute. So you guys are going to go for the horses there. And then my king is currently moving. He's going to go for the spearmen. So let's see how this works out. We are taking fire. This group is taking fire. That's a bit of an issue, but we'll push through. Let's see. Hold on a minute. This is actually turning a little bit rough here. Shouldn't be too big of an issue. We already have... we have some fire going on there. These guys are going to try and counterattack. You guys are pushing on the horses. Push on their archers instead. Or push on their king. That works too. Alright, let's slow things down a little bit just so we can watch what's going on. The enemy's actually going to be fleeing there. Let me grab these two groups. Have them charge at the enemy king. See if we can take out the enemy king. Let's have you two charge at the archers. Let's have my ranged units go at those guys, since those guys have actually rallied. We're going to want to make sure that we can take them out so that they can't counterattack us. Now, it looks like we might have an opportunity to head off their king here. No, he's going to be continuing to run. Their ranged units are going to be continuing to run. Let's see if we can maybe attack their horses there. Doesn't really look like that's going to be happening. Okay, so they are fleeing again. Their king is caught in battle here, though, so we probably will see their king, their lord, their general fall very, very soon. You guys... Okay, so the general's group is going to be running here. Still alive, though. Enemy general is still alive. Do not let him escape. Do not let him escape at all. You guys are still firing on their archers. That's fine. Can I get you to attack their cavalry, please? Cavalry's fleeing. Enemy's fleeing in general. We have one, but the general is not dead. The enemy general is possibly dead, unless the enemy general happened to survive and run away. Maybe I missed the alert that said the enemy general is dead. Fair enough. Let's end the battle. That is going to be a victory. We'll take that. No point saving the replay. So I guess the enemy general did in fact die. That's fine. Unfortunately, they had some survivors. They did have some survivors. But for the most part, the battle went my way. So we can ransom and release the captives for a bit of money. We can take on some warriors. We can kill the captives. I think we'll take on some warriors. And I believe... Yeah, there we go. So that is that guy dead. Alright, so those Irish rebels have been beaten. We do have low public order in the Brega province, though. So we do need to do something about that. The Brega province is going to be... let's see here. If we look at... oh, how do we get to the map? It's been a little while. If we look at diplomacy... So Brega is going to be this province here. Now, Brega is, I believe... Yeah, it's going to be in here. We own a part of it. Now, what we can do is we can look at things a few ways here. We could try and go for a diplomatic solution to almost everything. Because obviously, there are a lot of different factions right now in a lot of different territories. We are technically Vikings. We are Viking Sea Kings. Now, what I would like to do is fully take over... I want to take over Brega, basically. That's kind of where I'm at here. So, if we could do that, that'd be great. But let's see if we can initiate some diplomacy here.
Do not try my patience.
Now, the thing is, we can't necessarily demand that they become a vassalized kingdom. They'll find that insulting. They likely won't agree to a defensive pact because we don't know them. We're not all that friendly. But apparently, we are much, much stronger than Brega. And we can see that Brega at this time aren't actually allied with anyone. So what we could do is probably pull our forces back and move our forces into the lock here. And we could actually recruit more units if we really wanted to. Now let's see here. We need trained fighters to recruit you guys. But we could go for some some cavalry, some skirmisher cavalry. We could go for some skirmishers here. They're kind of expensive, and they do have upkeep as well. But the thing is, a slightly larger army pushing on Brega would give us a pretty early grab on that territory and give us that entire province. What we can also do is actually go ahead and I believe we can shift-click all of these guys and basically just upgrade all of them for 600 gold. So we will do that just to upgrade all of those guys. And I think before we try looking at Brega, we should look at our own territories. So we can actually do some construction around here. We could upgrade this Viking harbor in Dublin, which will give us a bit more money from the market, gives us more fame, which is great news. We could upgrade to a level 3 shore fortress, which will give us less food production, but will give us more public order, which is currently -3. This would give us a +4, so we would go to +1. It would also give us a larger garrison, which is important because obviously you need a garrison to defend. This right here would give us more money from the farm and actually more food production as well. So this might be a worthwhile upgrade. This here will give us less public order, but more money. I don't think we want that. This right here gives us a lot more money from the market. Actually, more than doubles it. Gives us 15% more gold and 15% more trade faction-wide. The only issue, -2 public order. That's quite expensive, but I think we will actually go for the thrall market there. So let's grab that. We can't do any more upgrading, but we have a little bit of gold left over, so let's grab a couple more units. And I'm kind of thinking cavalry is where it's at. So let's get a couple of skirmisher cavalry units there. And I'll tell you what, let's go in for Eastmen Kerns, who are going to be ranged skirmishers. We could go for bow infantry, but I don't think... You know what, let's go for these guys. Let's go for some axemen. Could go for some basic axemen. These ones are actually quite experienced. We'll go for those. And we could go for some basic spears as well. This whole thing's going to be 950 out of the available 1,220 gold. Let's maybe cancel that one if possible. You know what? Actually, let's accept that. We are at -35 food right now, which is obviously a major issue. That's going to keep people relatively unhappy. But we are in 4 turns going to have +35, so we'll go up to 0. I probably should have waited a little bit on that particular choice to increase this, but that's fine. They're going to be a little miserable for a few turns. In time, we're going to make more money, and in time, we are going to sort the food problem. So for the time being, let's go ahead and end the turn. We're going to have to simulate through absolutely everybody before we can start making more moves. But that's all right. That's turn number 1. And I should probably mention that not every single turn is going to take that long. Things will speed up in time, and this is interesting. We have enemy forces, Irish rebels, trying to attack us here. To be honest, we can just auto-fight this. We'll go in aggressively. We're not going to lose. They are severely outnumbered, and it would be a fairly basic fight there. So we'll auto-fight that one so as to not just, waste a bunch of time. Everyone's dead. We lost very few, to be honest. 26. That's not bad. Let's go ahead and take that. And let's see here. So, we have the coastal conflict. I see what you did there. Funny. So now that our lands around Dublin are secure, we should look to expanding our presence on the coast. The regions directly to our north are both rich and fertile, and rightfully ours to rule. We could demand the current rulers swear allegiance to us, or send in our army and kick them out by force. We're going to take them by force. We are now at war with Brega. I'll be honest, I'm not happy about this because they are over there and we are severely outnumbered.
We will bring you glory.
So we may need to go sit in that town so that we can defend that particular settlement.
We will bring fear.
I'm not entirely pleased about the fact that we had to go to war there, but apparently that's what we're doing. Now the good news is our king, King Barter, we can actually give him more champion points here, which will give him 10 plus melee skill for the commander's unit. I kind of want to give him Scribe, though, or Forager, for a bit more food production. So let's do the food production, and say that we're done there. And we have our governor down here. We're also going to say Forager, just to get that food production up a little bit. The Thunder Swords are currently taking attrition. The garrison army is currently taking attrition. Brega has low public order, and we're consuming more food than we produce. That is going to be fixed. It is just going to take time. Now we have a little bit of money here. Let's use some of that to go ahead and grab a few more soldiers. I'm going to grab you guys and you guys as well. They're not very good, and it is going to take our... I mean, food is going to be at an all-time low there. But I want to make sure we're outnumbering the enemy here.
Can't do that.
Because they will likely attack us on this turn. They will probably try and take out this particular settlement. So if we can take them out, which is their king, we can then push north, taking over the rest of Brega. Which in theory should fix some of the food problems. But I want them to attack me. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit, and I'm going to let my units recover some health, recover some stats, and generally just sort of sort themselves. That is the assumption. That is assuming that these guys attack me immediately and don't just try and go straight for Dublin itself. Now, they look to have pushed on Brega there. I think they are actually sieging the settlement, which is fair enough. We are technically surrounded. We have lost some men because we can't sustain them. That is fine. So right here, they are actually kind of hurt. We have a good chance of winning this. So let's see if we can take out the king of Brega. Let's see if we can take out their lord. This ought to be interesting. We've basically pushed out to fight them. We're not fighting? We're not fighting in the settlement. We're pushing out to meet them. They have a lot of weak units. It doesn't look like any of their units are actually going to be on horseback, so we have that advantage. Our horses can mess with them a bit. Let's go ahead and start deployment. It is nice and dry. So let's see here. Let's move these horses over to here. Move these horses to there. And I think that's all of my horses. Unless my king is horseback, which he is not. So that's fine. We have a few ranged units in there. In fact, can I grab all of my ranged units, please? So you guys are going to come back here for a little bit. And you guys are sort of going to just form up there. And then we're going to pretty much start from there. So let's begin. Shut up. We don't need the guide. Let's just pause for a moment. So our king and this group are going to push forward. They are not the strongest, but that's fine. Now they have some spearmen at the sides here. Go take out that one. You two are going to go for that group. You two are going to go... Now, those are ranged units. They will try and run away. There's actually a lot of ranged units in here. You two are going to go for that group. You two are going to push on that quite large group there. My ranged units. I want two of you guys focusing on that group. I want you two focusing on that group. And I want my cavalry to get onto melee mode and charge up into those trees, charge up to there, charge over to there, and then I want you to ambush, I'm honestly going to say just ambush one of the archer groups, one of the ranged groups, so something like that should work. Let's go ahead and run this, let's see what we end up doing. Everybody's set to attack something, so it might work out. I'm actually realizing we could totally go one better with the cavalry groups here. Let's grab you guys and just, you know, cut to the chase. Push in on that. Let's push to here. Let's push to there. Let's go. All right, so the fight is commencing. We'll slow things down a little bit there so we can actually see it in relative real time. These guys are ranged. Horses, attack them. Move, move, move. Let's go. One of their groups is already fleeing. Our horses are going to be coming in from behind. Two of their groups already fleeing. The horses still charging. This will mess up their ranged units, which is great news. So there we go. Horses charge in. Knock a bunch of them over. Most of them wrecked already. A lot of them already fleeing. I want you guys to turn and focus on their king. I want you guys to go over and deal with those groups. And I want my ranged units to basically just keep the rest of them at bay. I'm not too worried if a bunch of these guys survive. Oh, hold on. Take them out. I'm not too worried if a bunch of these guys survive. What I'm concerned about is making sure we kill their king. That's my goal. So let's get the horses over to intercept their king. My units will sort of follow up. You guys are going to branch off and deal with that group that's currently attacking. You guys are going to deal with that group as well. And ranged units, again, just sort of keep them at bay. Don't give them a chance to regroup. If they regroup, rain down hell on them. Let's see if we can kill that king. All of you, reroute, take out their lord. That's all I want you to do. Take out that lord. Do not let him survive. And ranged units, their lord still lives. That's not good enough. Kill the enemy general. Do not let him escape. Let's go. Let's go. He's not escaping. I think that's him. That's him right there. No, it's not. I don't know where he is. Still alive, though. Still alive. That might be him. I'd be surprised. Just make sure that general dies. Just wait, what are you guys aren't even doing anything. Oh, hello. Is that their king? Might be. Can we catch him? Probably not. I'm not even sure if we I'm not even sure if we killed their king. We might have to look into that. Either way, let's just end the battle. We won. Their king may still be alive. But we didn't take all that many losses. We didn't take all that many losses. That's fine. So let's see here. He fell. Did we kill the king? They are all dead. Let's take a bit of life there. There we go. Allegiance to Brega. We killed their king. Let's move. Let's move. We can't actually go in there, but we will take that over. We are going to move up. We are going to lay siege to this if needs be. I don't think we'll need to. I think because there's no one defending it, if there's no garrison there, we can take it over pretty much immediately. So we should be fine on that front. Should be. Obviously, we have the food issue, but it should get sorted on this next turn as well. Well, not sorted completely, but we'll take a step in the right direction with the food issue, especially if we end up taking over this particular settlement and Lynn's just to the north there as well. I believe those are the only two territories. Oh, hello. Brega has backup. Interesting. That's going to be their new king. That's going to be their new king, isn't it? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We are going to push in. We are going to... We could sack this. Get a lot of money for it. We're going to occupy this. There we go. So our food situation's gone up a little bit, which is great news. We are going to just auto-fight this. They have one unit badly injured, so we'll just murder their new king. Oh, right in the throat! The new king of Brega has fallen. Let's go ahead and kill any survivors. There we go. Beautiful. So the new king of Brega has fallen. Let's go ahead and take... Let's see. We could say Forager. We could say Champion. Scribe would be more money. I think Forager is going to be more important right now. So next turn, we are going to push up towards Linz. And we'll probably take it over pretty much immediately as well. At which point, I believe, we technically own the entire province of Brega. So these guys are still taking attrition. That is a bit of an issue. It's the food situation, really. But I'm going to be very curious to see if Brega produces another unit to try and flee or try to maybe fight back. I'm definitely curious there. They did. And I think that is going to be another king. I think that is going to be another king. Some raiders have arrived south. I don't think we're going to need to worry about that. I don't think that's going to be an issue. See here. So you can become a forager. You can definitely become a forager. You guys need to charge on Lynn. And we are going to... Oh, we could subjugate. We could take on Brega as a vassalized kingdom. We are not going to be doing that. We are going to occupy it.